In honor of learning about investing like Warren Buffett, let's go ahead and mimic Warren Buffett's morning routine. The first thing he does after he wakes up at about 6:30 is not drink water, not go out and have a nice big cup of coffee. He goes and has a can of Coke. Let's go get one. Okay, confession time. I didn't buy the Coke because I don't want to drink Coke in the morning. Sorry, Warren Buffett. It says that he has up to 5 Cokes a day. I'm surprised he's lived this long. He's in his late 80s, but way to go. The next thing that he does in the morning is typically go to breakfast at McDonald's, which I am willing to do. So let's go now.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Could I please have a sausage egg McMuffin?
Did you want to add another sausage egg for 11 cents more?
Sure.
So it's going to be 46, okay?
Thank you. We got him. See what all the fuss is about here, Mr. Buffett. I mean, it's pretty good. It's efficient. That was pretty fast. Gives Warren Buffett some more time to go in the office and get some work done. Let's go do that. Well, since this truck is essentially my office for the day, I'll stay here and read. Warren Buffett says that he spends up to 80% of his time reading each day. The guy reads articles and books and newsletters and investment prospectuses and all kinds of things that inform him to be the best investor, period. So let's do some reading. Maybe it's serendipitous that I decided to choose this topic, and then I happened to get this book this year for Father's Day. This book is all about running like the pros run. The author claims that those of us that are recreational runners would do well to just emulate what the pros do. They're the pros for a reason. They know what they're doing. We should do what they do. But instead, most of us do something that's completely the opposite. We don't rest enough. We don't train enough. We train too fast. We don't do long runs that are nice and slow, and so we end up not performing as well as the pros. And we do similar stuff when we're investing. We trade like the people around us trade, or we follow people on social media and we do the things that they do instead of emulating the pros like Warren Buffett. So what are the kind of things that Warren Buffett does? What has he done over the years that make him one of the most prolific investors of all time? The first principle is that he's invested for a really, really long time. When he was a young man, 70 years ago, he started investing. At about the same time that a lot of us are thinking about our first car or about going to prom, Warren Buffett was already investing. And that's one of the reasons why he's so successful and so rich now, is he's had a lot of time in the market. This is a concept that nobody likes to hear because it's frickin' boring. But the truth is that the longer we invest, the longer that time horizon is, the less our risk of loss is. That's just basically the way that the stock market works. So what this is telling me is what we don't want to do is take our money out whenever things are going badly and then try and put our money in whenever things are going well. That's called timing the market, and that's not what Warren Buffett has done. What he's done is a lot of very slow movements, buying and holding investments as he goes. And that's principle number 2, which is slow and steady. Warren Buffett thinks about things in terms of years, decades even, whenever he's buying into a company. Now, his job is to manage Berkshire Hathaway and to make a lot of investing decisions for them. So he actually needs to select specific companies that he thinks are poised for growth. And that's literally how he spends the majority of every day learning how to do that. But as risky as that sounds, he's still not doing that on a moment by moment, day by day basis. He's thinking about that in terms of a really long trajectory. And in a similar way, we need to emulate him. We shouldn't be thinking about the next stock that's going to pump up here for a few days or a few weeks because of some news story or because of some short-term trend. We can try and make some money and then get back out of it. That is a way to lose money. The third principle that we can learn from Warren Buffett is this famous saying that you may have heard of before, which is, be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. Now, that's not an impetus to go back on the previous rule and to try and time the market and figure things out moment by moment and kind of shift our money around in a crazy way. What he's saying is that typically when people are really pessimistic, a lot of stocks, a lot of the stock market is down on value. People think that because bad things are happening or are going to happen, that they are negative about the future of the economy, they're negative about these companies, and so typically the prices have gone down. As a result then, that means that they could be actually a really good price right now, and so if we buy at that time, we're likely getting a better deal than the alternative. The alternative is when everyone is really optimistic about the stock market, when everyone is really greedy and they're trying to make tons and tons of money, that's maybe when we should be a little bit afraid. That's when we should kind of pump the brakes and go, I don't know about investing right now because everyone thinks that this is the clear answer. So what that tells us about what we're doing right now, where the state of the world is, well, it's kind of difficult to know because frankly, a lot of people are very fearful fearful right now. So if we're gonna take Warren Buffett's advice here, we really should be greedy. We should be looking for opportunities to invest more, to buy more stocks. And he has done that a lot this year already. In 2022, he has invested a ton of money. So he's kind of following his own advice there. Still, I find the psychology of this really difficult to follow personally, because as you see your investments going down and down and down in value, psychologically and emotionally, it's just hard to keep shoveling more money in because you feel like you're just burning it at this point. But unless like a giant catastrophe happens and the country comes to an end, then we have reason to believe that this is going to recover, that growth will continue, that this period of a down market or a bear market will come to a close. We'll go back to benefiting from having this money invested. And in the meantime, if we invest more now, we'll just stand to benefit more whenever that finally happens. A specific example of him being greedy when others are fearful are the fact that the first quarter of this year, he bought $41.5 billion of different stock investments just in this first quarter. That's the most cash he's invested on equities since 2008. So he's viewing this as a similar opportunity to 2008. Wow. As we all know, inflation is really crazy right now. It's at some of the highest levels in the last recent decades, up over 8%. And as a thing that he can do to combat inflation, Warren Buffett made a couple of very specific purchases. For one thing, he invested a bunch of money in Chevron specifically, the gas company, the fuel stations. He says that because the company is so strong and because they issue a 3.5% dividend, that it's almost like an inflation hedge, that it's almost like something that is a better alternative for your cash than just keeping it in cash, because if you leave it alone, like in the form of just dollars in a bank account, it's going to decrease by upwards of 8% right now. So instead of just leaving his cash sitting there doing nothing, losing value, he threw it into Chevron. Pretty interesting. Now, if that was interesting, then let's talk about the 10 most prominent holdings in Warren Buffett's stock portfolio. Remember, his favorite holding period is forever. So he's pretty confident about all 10 of these companies. The first one is Citigroup. That's the financial services company, the credit card company, all of that. That's one of his very biggest holdings. In fact, in the first quarter of 2022, he purchased over $55 million worth of shares of Citigroup. The second company is Markel Corporation, stock ticker symbol MKL. And this is a newer addition to his portfolio, but he just bought $620 million worth of this company. Wow. And that company is another financial services company. So we're saying something there about what Warren Buffett thinks the future of the financial services industry looks like. Another company that he bought, that's another financial services company, is Bank of America. And he owns more than $41 billion worth of that stock. So he is very optimistic on the bank. He also owns American Express, the Bank of New York Mellon Corporation, Visa, MasterCard, Stone Co. Limited, which is a financial technology provider that's based out of Brazil, Ally Financial, which is another banking company who I used to use a lot more, but now they've actually been coming back with higher and higher interest rates on their savings account. I just got an email yesterday that says they're back up to 0.9%. So they've gotten some mixed reviews when it comes to like customer service, but as far as the savings account goes, they're getting back up there again. And finally, US Bank Corp. So these are not my attempt at telling you to buy those individual stocks. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what you should do either. But these are things that Warren Buffett is doing, and these are kind of strategies that he has to make him one of the most successful investors of all time. Could he be wrong? Absolutely. There's a lot more in his overall holdings than just these companies, and so even if those don't do well, he's diverse enough to benefit. And specifically emulating the exact purchases of certain people like this may be the equivalent of running like a pro in a literal sense. A lot of pros are out there running 60, 80, 100 miles a week. Now, if you or I did that, we would just die. Like our Achilles tendons would snap, our backs would break in half, our lungs would explode. There was no way we'd be able to do that. We'd have stress fractures all in our feet. It wouldn't work for us. Frankly, we're not set up to do the exact things that they're doing. But in a fundamental sense, running a little bit more, warming up more, eating a balanced diet, sleeping enough, all that stuff at a foundational level would work for us. It would help us to be better runners. Similarly, the foundational things that Warren Buffett is doing will help us to be better investors. He has got such a long time horizon and such a level of patience, you think the guy expects to live another 85 years. Let's take a page out of his book and slow down and take a breather right now as things are really crazy in 2022. Let's be a little bit more greedy than we feel like we should because others are fearful, and let's keep investing in the way that we know is right. I can pretty unequivocally recommend that we don't do some things that Warren Buffett is doing, namely eating at McDonald's every day and drinking upwards of 5 Cokes a day. That's a bad idea. I don't care how good of an investor he is, that's a bad idea. Maybe for both running and for investing sake, we should drink some more water. As a secret comment for today's video, I'm gonna use the word run. So I'm reading about running. I'm trying to get back into running now that I'm largely over COVID, but it is really hot out here in Arizona. It's 106 degrees outside today. So as I go on a run this afternoon, just a little short one, a little slow one, I'm gonna have to take it really easy because it's gonna be really hot and overheat me. But if you leave the secret comment word, which is run, then I'll know that you made it all the way to the end of the video and you got some value. I'll keep an eye out for these because they are my favorite comments by far. If you wanna see more specific investing videos like the one that I made about my favorite index funds for this year, then go ahead and click right here so you can see that video next.